Welcome back. All right, so a regular night of hockey tonight. The first regular night of hockey we've had since Thursday, really. When you think about it, Friday there was barely anything. Saturday, a whole bunch of games all day. Sunday, 3 games early, and then Monday, games all day. So this is a nice regular night. And we're going to start off talking about the Sens and the Panthers. And as I said last night, it's got to be frustrating for Sens fans to watch as now Ottawa's playing pretty good hockey. The playoffs seem to be a distant possibility at this point, but they're playing pretty well. So it's Korpisalo versus Bobrovsky. It takes 19 seconds for Florida to basically swarm and score. Ekblad with that one from Verhaeghe and Reinhardt at 19 seconds. And all I could think was, well, that makes some sense. You know, Ottawa played last night. Florida wants to jump on them, and they did. However, Tarasenko nearly answers. The Sens press at 4 minutes. Gadjevich has a rush chance. That's held. Reinhardt has a one-timer that's held as well. Shots are 7-4 Florida at 7 minutes. Power play for the Panthers, that's killed off. Panthers go back to the power play. Montour has a blast that goes wide. That's killed off as well. Batherson fires one wide on a rush as he stays ice cold from a scoring perspective. Sens then go to the power play. Chabot has a one-timer that's saved. That's killed off as well. Panthers press in the final minute, and they're ahead 1-0 after one. Second period, long stretch with no Florida shots. We went over half a period between shots for Florida. Tkachuk has a slot shot, that's blocked. So when the Panthers press in the final minute, they didn't hit the net. There's a kick save on Pinto, that's cleared. Tarasenko's denied, it's cleared out after that as well. Panthers press at 4 minutes. Pinto has a rush chance, that's held. Sens press at 8.5 minutes. The shots are 6-1 for Ottawa at the half. Yeah, Ottawa played pretty well. Panthers press with 8 minutes left. Power play for Ottawa. Norris has a shot that's tipped wide. That's killed off. And then at 17:01, Brendan Montour scores. That's an unassisted goal. The Sens then look to respond, now down 2-0. And with 36.5 seconds left, Florida goes to the power play. So it's 2-0 Florida after 2, and they have a power play to start the third. Well, the Sens finished the kill. They allowed 2 shots in total on that. Rodriguez then has a slot shot. That's blocked. Good forechecking by the Panthers. Cousins is denied and close. The shots are 3-1 for Florida at 5 minutes. But then Thomas Chabot makes it a little closer. He buries one from the high slot at 5:35. Bobrovsky decides shortly thereafter he's had enough of Brady Tkachuk and just goes straight after him. It's Brady Tkachuk's game. That's kind of what he does to goaltenders. Pinto has a turnover chance. That's held. Matthew Tkachuk nearly scores as they press. And then at 8:46, on a rush, Stützle goes 5-hole. Ties the game. Giroux and Chabot with the assists. Matthew Tkachuk has a rush chance that's saved. We're going to overtime. In the overtime, the Panthers set up. Korpisalo holds. There's a shot that's saved at one end, and then Lindell with impressive puck control by the Florida Panthers in the end. Matthew Tkachuk with the assist at 1:35 on Lindell's goal. Florida survives a bit of a scare, 3-2 in overtime. They go to 37-15-4 with the win. The Senators 23-27-3 with the overtime loss. I believe Florida now only 2 points out of first place in the entire National Hockey League. Shots on net, 11-10 Florida in the first, 10-9 Ottawa in the second, 12-9 Florida in the third, 2-1 Florida in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots 34-30 for Florida. Power plays 0-2 for Ottawa, 0-3 for Florida. The hits 30-21 for the Panthers. Korpisalo saves 31 out of 34 at one end. Bobrovsky saves 28 out of 30 at the other end. And again, entertaining game. How do you feel as a Sens fan seeing them playing well now? Is it fine? You're good with it, or does it make you angry? All right, let me know your thoughts. All right, Dallas and the Rangers. So Wedgwood versus Shesterkin in this one. Brodzinski has a one-timer that goes wide. Panarin can't bury one in close. Foxa had a spin-around shot. That was saved. Trying to go all Savardi in there. Stars press are kept to the outside, and Wedgwood nearly had a puck that he didn't get. Fox ends up scoring to make it 1-0 for the Rangers. Panarin and Lindgren with the assists at 7:45. The shots are 7-6 for Dallas at the half. We get a power play for New York. That's killed off. 1 shot on net. The teams exchange turnovers. Stars need less posts and more goals. They had, I think, 2 posts in the first. Might have been 3. And then, missed nets and stuff like that. Rangers press. The Stars block. They clear. 1:22 left. The Stars get a power play. Lindgren was minus a blade for a bit there, so it was kind of a 5-on-3.5. Stars couldn't take advantage of that, though, so it stays 1-0 for the Rangers after the first, and to start the second, the Rangers finish the kill. The Stars go back to the power play. The Rangers kill that one off, too. Panarin has a rush chance that's caught and held. Cooley's denied. The rebound's cleared. Trocheck's robbed on a fast break. We get a power play for the Rangers. That becomes 58 seconds of 4-on-4. During the 4-on-4, the Rangers make it 2-0. It's Kakko from Gustafsson and Miller at 8:23. And then during the power play for Dallas that follows, Heiskanen. He's a new dad. Congratulations to him. He gets the goal here. Ben and Pavelski with the assists at 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Rangers get another power play. That's killed off as well. There's a press by the Rangers after it ends. The Stars get zone time, but they can't get to the net. Johnston's denied on a rush. Shesterkin holds on there, and the Igor chance gets started. So after 2 periods of play, it's 2-1 for the Rangers. Third period. Marchman has a blast that's held. Shots are 2-0 Dallas at 3 minutes. The Rangers press at 5.5 minutes. Duchesne fires one high on the rush. We get a power play for New York. Panarin has a shot that's blocked. That's killed off. Shots are only 3 apiece halfway through the period, but Dallas had a lot of opportunities in that second half. They get a power play. It's killed off because of Igor. Pouliot has a blast that's held. The Stars press with 5 minutes left. They had opportunities. Eventually, they pull the goalie, and the Rangers hit the empty net. It's Trocheck from Kreider and Zibanejad at 18:19. The Rangers win 3-1. They go to 37-16-3 for Dallas, 34-15-8 with the loss. Shots on net, 10-6 Dallas in the first, 15-14 Dallas in the second, 17-6 Dallas in the third. Final shots, 42-26 for the Stars. Power plays, Dallas 1 for 4, the Rangers 0 for 4. The hits, 27-12 for the Rangers. Wedgwood saves 23-25. Igor had himself a game. 41 saves on 42 shots. So, nice bounce back after allowing some goals in his last start. All right, next up. Moving on to the Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, in this game, we had Sorokin at one end, Nedeljkovic at the other, and this was quite the back-and-forth game. Good early Pens forecheck. Nelson has a net drive. That's defended. The shots on net are 4-0 New York, 3 minutes in. The Islanders press at 4.5 minutes. Lots of time spent in the Penguins' end in that first half. Phillips has a net feed that's picked off. The Penguins press, but they're kept to the outside. Pelech has a chance that's held as the Islanders press. And then Pettersson opens the scoring for Pittsburgh from Raquel and Carlson at 12:48. We get a power play for the Islanders. The closest they get is a crossbar by Brock Nelson. That's killed off. Crosby's then denied on a turnover. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh after 1. Second period, 3 minutes and 40 seconds in. Nelson decides to go beast mode from the blue line to the net. Just he willed that into the net. Pulock and Pelech with the assists. Penguins look to respond. Rust has a wraparound that's saved. The Penguins get a power play. Killed off. Pretty solid kill. And, of course, the Penguins' power play. Did it suck? Yep, kind of. So, Barzal would score out of the box as well, so that really doesn't help the power play. Pulock and Sorokin with the assists at 6:37. Power play for the Islanders, and right after it ends, Holmstrom scores at 13:15. So, penalty kill technically kills it, but right afterwards, Holmstrom gets the goal. There's a net feed to Crosby. That's picked off as now the Islanders are up 3-1. Penguins press with 5.5 minutes left. Eventually, Eller scores from Ruhwedel and Graves at 16:35. So it's challenged by the Islanders for a hand pass that should have been a stoppage of play. That actually fails. So that becomes a Penguins power play. It's killed off, but the Penguins get another with 32.1 seconds left. So that rolls over into the third period, and the Islanders finish the kill, stay ahead 3-2. But the shots are 4-0 Pittsburgh 6 minutes into the period. Holmstrom has a rush that's blocked. Pajot had a net drive that was saved. And then Riley. He scores from Nelson and Lee at 10:41. That's top shelf from the left circle. But cue the comeback. Puustinen scores from Letang and Smith at 12:06. And then at 13:02, O'Connor scores from Malkin to tie the game. The Islanders press with 3 minutes left. But it's an Islanders game. They all go to overtime. All of them. This is the 21st time they've been in overtime out of 55 games. So it's a little less than half, but still it's a lot. So the Islanders control early, and they score on the only shot of the overtime. So maybe they've been in overtime 3-on-3 so many times, they're going to be experts at it. So it's Pelech with his first of the year. He wires it on a rush. Barzal and Horvat with the assists at 57 seconds. The Islanders win 5-4. They go to 23-18-4. For Pittsburgh, it's not great for them. They basically only get the 1 point. They really needed 2 in this race for the playoffs. 24-21-8. They have 3 wins in their last 11 now. Shots on net, 13-12 Islanders in the first, 13-12 Pittsburgh in the second, 16-7 Pittsburgh in the third. The only shot of the overtime is the only one the Islanders needed. Final shots, 41-33 for Pittsburgh. Power plays, the Islanders 0 for 2. Pittsburgh 0 for 3. The hits, 23-18 for the Islanders. Sorokin saved 37 out of 41. Nedeljkovic saved 28 out of 33. So, again, if you're a Penguins fan, you got to be... I guess, are you happy they came back and got a point, or kind of mad they were behind and needed to come back? So let me know your thoughts on that one. All right, New Jersey and the Caps. So yeah, I wore New Jersey this morning, and it didn't go well. Dawes versus Lindgren, and 39 seconds in on a rush. McMichael buries a rebound. Protas and Sandin with the assists, and then the Caps look to add another. Bastian has a net drive that saved. The shots on net are actually 6-2 for New Jersey at 4 minutes. Jack Hughes has a rush chance that's held. The Caps press at 6 minutes. Teams exchange rushes, and then Holtz. Nice cross-crease pass from Nemitz, who forechecked to make that play happen, and gets the only assist at 15:06. Makes the score 1-1 after 1. Second period, early press by the Caps. Howla can't bury one in close. We get a power play for the Devils. That was killed off. 3 shots. And then McMichael with his second goal of the game. He scores at 4:17 to put the Caps back in front. Heischer to Palat, near miss there. Ovechkin has a net feed, that's picked off. The shots are 6-3 New Jersey at 7.5 minutes. They did lead in shots throughout this game. Really, this is just, it's an odd result. Power play for the Devils, that's killed off. Caps press with 5.5 minutes left. And Wilson had a buzzer beater that was held. So after 2 periods of play, it is 2-1 in favor of the Caps. Third period. Dowd, they announced at this point, has an upper body injury. He will not return to the game. Shots are 2-1 Devils at 2.5 minutes. At 4:10, Strome buries his own rebound. Ovechkin and Milano with the assists. Ovechkin nearly adds another. The Caps press at 7 minutes, and eventually, off of a face-off win, Ovechkin gets the goal. He scores from Strome at 8:44. He's definitely heated up. Caps press with 8 minutes left. Scarbosa would score at 12:27. That one from Carlson and Pacioretty. But the Devils do answer. Howla scores from Toffoli and Smith at 15:34, which makes it 5-2. 2:22 left. Caps get a power play. They would score on it at 19:27. It's Ovechkin from Strome and Oshie. So Ovechkin with 2 goals today. He's now 56 back of Gretzky's record. Your final score is 6-2. The Capitals go to 25-21-8 on the season. The Devils 28-23-7. They really needed the win. They don't get it. Shots on net favored New Jersey, as I said, the whole way. 10-8 in the first, 17-7 in the second, 12-10 in the third. Final shots 39-25 for the Devils. Power plays, the Devils 0 for 2. Washington scored on the only power play they had. Hits 17-15 New Jersey. Dawes saved 20 out of 26. So now that Schmid's back up with the team, look for him to get a start. Lindgren saved 37 out of 39. He kind of stole it as well. So one goalie had a rough night and the other one had a great night. That being said, I need to change boards. All right, Minnesota and the Winnipeg Jets. And I didn't need an 80s magnet today. I didn't need a No Mercy magnet. I also didn't need a Tony the Tiger. Nope, just all NHLs all the way across. This one had Fleury versus Brossoit. Shots are 2-0 Wild at 2.5 minutes. Dillon misses an open net. That was kind of a theme tonight with some teams. Teams exchange rushes. The Jets press at 5 minutes. There's a power play for Winnipeg. Scheifele has a shot that's saved, and then Velarde scores on that power play at 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Connor and Morrissey with the assists. And 14 seconds later, beyond a screen, Appleton buries one high. Lowry and Niederreiter with the assists. So at 9:34, it's suddenly 2-0 for the Jets. Jets look for another. The shots are 7-6 Winnipeg. With 8 minutes left, we get a power play for the Wild. That's killed off. Middleton versus Stanley after a hit on Scheifele. So the Jets come out of that with a power play. That's killed off. It's 2-0 Winnipeg after 1. Second period, early press by the Jets. And on a wrist shot from the slot, Connor scores from Velarde and DeMello at 1:54. The Wild press at 3 minutes. There's a near miss for Johansson. There's more pressure by the Wild. Shots are 5-3 for Minnesota at 8 minutes. Dewar's denied, and then there's some pushing. We get a power play for the Wild, and Rossi would score during that. Chisholm with the assist at 14 minutes and 10 seconds, so it's 3-1. The Jets press for response. The Wild go back to the power play. That's killed off. Rossi's then denied on a fast break. It's 3-1 for the Jets after 2. Third period, early power play for Winnipeg. That's killed off. Lowry has a shot after that's held. The shots are actually 4-1 for the Jets at 4.5 minutes. Near miss for Lowry on a rebound. Niederreiter has a shot that deflects out. Appleton has a tip shot that's held. We get a power play for the Jets. They figured this out, and this is something that I've always thought is, the best way to hold the lead, keep pressing at the other end. So Velarde would score on this power play as well. Morrissey and Connor with the assists again at 9:38, and it's a point shot by Morrissey that Velarde deflects in. So Velarde red hot. The Wild look to respond, but at 10:36 off of a face-off win by Monahan, he finishes the play. DeMello and Ehlers with the assists on that. Lucchini then had a fight with Nemestikov. The Wild come out with a power play, and at 12:33, Kaprizov scores on that power play. Eriksson, Ek, and Zuccarello with the assists. And then just to make things interesting, Rossi tips one in with Kaprizov with the helper at 14:11 to make it 5-3. So they pull the goalie, which means Niederreiter hits the empty net from Lowry at 17:02. Your final score in this one, 6-3 for the Jets. They go to 34-15-5 on this season. For the Wild, they go to 26-24-6 with the loss. Shots on net, 11-8 Minnesota in the first, 17-6 Minnesota in the second, and then the Jets, 16-11 for them in the third. Final shots, 39-30 for the Wild. Both teams go 2 for 4 on the power play. The hits, 27-26 for Minnesota. Fleury saved 24 out of 29, and Brossoit saved 36 out of 39. So, fun game. And my wife got to watch all of it because I showed her how to do the Sportsnet Plus thing the other day, and now she can watch that on her phone. All right, next up, Colorado at home against Vancouver. The losing streak has reached 3 for the first time. Now for Vancouver, they go to Seattle, and then they come home and play against Boston. It's a rough schedule. It happens to Vancouver every year since I was a little kid. We'll see how it goes. So it's Demko versus Georgiev in this one. Early press by the Avs. McKinnon is denied on a rush. The shots are 3-0 Colorado. 4 minutes in. Canucks press at the half, and Miller would score to open scoring for Vancouver. Besser and Hughes with the assists at 10:46. The Avs draw a power play. That's killed off. Shots are 7-4 for the Avs with 5.5 minutes left. Baines is denied. The Avs clear. And it's 1-0 Vancouver after one. Pretty solid road period. Second period. Early press by the Canucks. Drouin that has a rush chance that's saved. And Johansson would score at 2:54 from Taves and Jack Johnson. He buries a rebound there. And when Johansson scores, the Avs have a perfect record. It's one of those oddities. The Canucks look to answer, I should say. There's a press by Vancouver at 5 minutes. The shots are 3-2 Colorado at 6 minutes. We get a power play for the Canucks. That's killed off. There's a post for Rantanen from a sharp angle. The Avs press at the half. McKinnon can't bury one in close. We get a power play for Colorado. That's killed off. And Bluger is denied in close, so it's 1-1 after 2. Third period, 1 minute and 35 seconds in. Parisi with some good forechecking work gets it to Johansson, who buries it, makes it 2-1, so he had both goals at that point. 2-1 in favor of the Avs. Shots are 2-0 for the Avs at 3 minutes. So all 3 periods they had pretty good starts to. Canucks score, but it's with a high stick. Immediately waved off. Nobody challenged it. You can't challenge it. It's a high stick. You can challenge it for high stick, but in that case, better they didn't, because that would have been a power play for the Avs and the goal wouldn't have counted. Bluger's denied. Georgiev holds. McKinnon's home streak at 26 games, his point streak. And I took note of that because they mentioned it, and I was like, okay, he doesn't have a point yet tonight. Is he going to get one? Spoiler alert, yeah, he does. So Hoaglander's robbed. The fans chant for Georgiev at that point. Canucks press at 8.5 minutes. Hronek has an open net bid. That's blocked. Initially, we didn't know how he didn't hit it, but Lehkonen blocks it. Shots are 6-4 for the Canucks at the half with 6:39 left. The Canucks get a power play. They call a timeout. Pettersson and Miller had chances in close, just couldn't bury it. It's killed off. 3:33 left. The Avs get a power play to end it. There's a shorthanded rush by Myers. The Canucks do kill it off, but now they're down to a minute and a half left in the game. Goalie pull happens with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, and at 19:32, Lehkonen hits the empty net. McKinnon and Rantanen with the assists, so McKinnon's streak hits 27 now. Final score is 3-1. Colorado goes to 35-18-4 in the season. Vancouver 37-15-6 with their third straight loss. Shots on net, 7 apiece in the first, 11-10 Colorado in the second, 9-8 Colorado in the third. Final shots 27-25 for Colorado. Power plays, Vancouver 0 for 2, Colorado 0 for 3. The hits 25-15 Colorado. Demko 24 saves on 26 shots. Georgiev 24 saves on 25 shots. It was a very entertaining game, although any Canuck fan is going to come running in here and telling you the referees stole the game, they robbed them. But neither power play scored, so everything was 5-on-5 in this, so I don't see the robbery. All right, next up, Nashville. This is the surprise of the night right here. So it's Lankinen versus Hill as Nashville was in Vegas tonight. Early jump for the Preds. 4 minutes in, though, there's no shots on net. Stone to Raw, there's a near miss there, and then at 5:35, from a distance, Evangelista fools Hill. Hill needs to save that. Yossi and McDonough with the assists. I thought Hill looked shaky tonight. Every goalie has a shaky game here and there, so it doesn't mean a whole lot. We get a power play for Nashville. That's killed off. Vegas then gets a turn on the power play. There's a shorthanded 3-on-2. McCarron is denied there. They do kill that off. Teams exchange turnovers. Lauzon has a blast that's held, and then Pietrangelo wires one past a screen. Martinez and Stevenson with the assists at 14:08. Vegas then presses for the lead. Marchessault fires one wide on a fast break, and then on a rush right after that, at 19:08, Glass, the former Vegas Golden Knight, scores from Yossi and Trennan to make it 2-1 for Nashville. With 6 seconds left, Vegas goes to the power play, so they've got a clean sheet of ice to start the second, 1:54 left on the power play, and Nashville kills it off. Evangelista is then denied out of the box. Always be ready for the guy coming out of the box. Yossi has a screenshot that's held. That's why I'm a big supporter of having defensemen on the power play, because they tend to keep an eye on that a little better than the forwards do. But anyways, things get pushy on a hold by Hill. We get a power play for Nashville. That's killed off kind of sort of, because 6 seconds after it's done, Nashville scores. It's Novak from McDonough and Carrier at 8:04. It's a 2-goal lead for Nashville in Vegas. Preds then press for another. Shots are 8-2 for Nashville at 9.5 minutes. Power play for Vegas. That becomes 31 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything's killed off. There's a near miss for Forsberg after that's done. Vegas presses with 5 minutes left, and at 15:58, Nashville scores again. It's Cole Smith from McCarron and Sherwood. So kind of against the flow of play, but yeah, Nashville gets one. Pressed by Nashville with 2.5 minutes left, with 1:08 left. Vegas gets a power play. So that rolls over into the third period. They're down 4-1. They need a power play goal, and they get it. On a rush, William Karlsson on the power play at 47 seconds gets that goal from Roy and Theodore, as Shea Theodore returned to the lineup, and despite the result tonight, Theodore, you can tell a huge difference when he's in the lineup. Stone, at this point, they announced with an upper body injury he suffered in the, I believe, second period, won't return. So that's bad news if Stone's going to be out for a while. Trennan's denied on a breakaway. We get a power play for Nashville. That was killed off by Hill. 4 saves. Hill's game got better, I thought, as the game went along. Pressed by Nashville with 7.5 minutes left. Vegas, not a lot of room with the puck, but it's Vegas, so eventually they're going to get a goal. At 17:01, Amadio buries a rebound. Martinez and Cotter with the assists. So Vegas would pull the goalie, looking to get closer, and Nyquist hits the empty net at 18:11. Good thing he did, because otherwise I think Vegas would have tied this. So your final score is 5-3 for Nashville. They go to 29, 25, and 2. And since that 9-2 drubbing they took from Dallas, they've looked pretty good. Vegas 32, 18, and 6 with the loss. Shots on net 11-8 Nashville in the first, 15-10 Nashville in the second, 14-8 Nashville in the third. Final shots 40-26 for Nashville. Power plays, the Preds 0 for 4, Vegas 1 for 4. The hits 40-27 for Nashville. Lankinen saved 23 out of 26. He was good when he had to be. Hill, he did get his game together. 35 saves on 39 shots. Just not a very Hill-like first period is where I noticed him bobbling the puck a little bit. Anyways, last game of the night, Columbus and LA. Thank you, LA, for not having this one go to a shootout. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. So it's Merzlikins versus Talbot. Laferriere fires one high, although the announcer for Columbus, and that was the feed I was watching, kept calling him Lafreniere. And I'm pretty sure he kept saying Lafreniere, and I'm like, somebody's got to correct him. I've seen this in games where an announcer will have the name completely wrong, and then in the third period, or by the third period, they'll have it right. And I figure somebody tells them, but I don't know. Anyways, Corelli is a net drive. That's held. The shots are 5-1 for Columbus at 5.5 minutes. Arvidsson was not on the bench for LA at this point. Arvidsson, of course, just having returned from injury. You have to have some concern there if you're a Kings fan. Dano has a 3-on-2 chance. That's held. Kopitar's denied from the slot. Dubois a one-timer. That's held. Goudreau scores, and you could tell by his reaction he knew the goal wasn't going to count. Not only that, go and look at that highlight. You can tell by Boone Jenner's reaction, he knows that goal's not going to count. So when you've got players acting like, oh, then don't count it. Just have the referee wave it off and go, you guys don't think that should be a goal. Why? Goal interference. So they challenge it, and yeah, the goal comes right off the board. Not good poker faces. Johnny Hockey, do not play poker. You're bad at it. You lose all your money. So the Jackets press with 9 minutes left. There's a net feed to Jenner, near miss there. The Kings press with 4.5 minutes left. And then Quinton Byfield is goal of the year. For my money, it is goal of the year. The absolutely just beast mode goal from one end to the other at 18:22. If there even were assists, I don't think this should be allowed. I think this should just be that's his goal. No, his goal. Stop it. So yeah, it's unassisted, and it was just absolutely a thing of beauty. I don't know what Elvis could have done with that. I don't know what anybody could have done. It's just absolutely fantastic. Keep in mind that up until October of this year, I kept reading about how the guy was a bust. He's not going to make it. They need to just trade him for a bucket of pucks. Can you imagine? Anyways, it's 1-0 for LA after one. Second period, power play for the Kings, and they score on it. It's Dubois, who's starting to heat up as well. He scores from Clark and Talbot at 1:27. He wires that one from the slot on a rush. Cam Talbot setting that up. Shots are 3 apiece at 4.5 minutes, and at 4:41, Columbus scores. It's Boquist. He banks it in off Talbot. Smart move from behind the net. Jenner and Roslovic with the assists, so that makes it 2-1. Teams exchange rushes. There's a near miss for Kempe as the Kings are pressuring. Jackets get pinned down with 8.5 minutes left, and yeah, the Kings, they take advantage. They score. It's Dubois again. He tips one in. The Columbus Blue Jackets were exhausted. They're all straight-legged at that point. Byfield and Turcotte with the assists at 11:39. There's Byfield. He had an assist in this game as well. Kings press for another. Voronkov gets denied on a fast break. Kings score, but goalie interference challenge, and yep, that's goalie interference as well. They didn't like that call at all. Not only that, I thought they were going to challenge for a kick at first. It was like, well, they could challenge it for a kicking motion, but nope, they challenged it for goal interference. It came off the board either way. 1:21 left. Columbus gets a power play, so that rolls over into the third. They need a goal. They do not get it. The Kings finish the kill. Fiala gets pushed while he's without a blade. I think when a player throws a blade, I think how they get to the bench is very telling of how popular they are. The guy who has to just crawl can't be that popular. The guy who has somebody come over and go, okay, I'll push you to the bench, that's a good guy. So that means that Fiala, popular, has to be a popular guy with his teammates. It's something to keep an eye on. Anyways, Lewis has a net feed that's blocked. Voronkov can't bury one. Shots are 6-3 for the Kings at 6 minutes. Kings press at 7.5 minutes. I'm not serious about the blade thing at all. I just want to make that clear that I'm not actually insinuating that a team would be fine being 5-on-4 because one of their players is crawling without a blade. Anyways, power play for Columbus, which means the ref sucks. Delay a game call with 5 seconds left in that power play makes it 5-on-3. So that means the referee really sucks. However, they're in luck. Columbus's power play did not connect. That's killed off. Byfield has a shot that's held as the Kings press with 5:23 left. The Kings get a power play. So the fans chanted the referee sucks. They don't do that when the home team gets a power play. I wonder why. So there's a shorthanded breakaway for Roslovic. He fires wide there. And then Fiala with the power play goal. He scores from Doughty and Kempe at 15:56. And then at 19:37, just to rub it in a little bit, Doughty scores. Moore and Deno with the assists. Elvis was not happy with that one. Not happy at all. Your final score is 5-1. LA 28-16-10 with the win. They've got it together again. Columbus 17-27-10. Shots on net 10-7 LA in the first, 14-8 LA in the second, and then 19-12 Columbus in the third. Final shots are 36-34 for the Kings. Power plays, Columbus 0 for 3. LA scored on both of theirs. Hits 21-12 for Columbus. Merzlikins 31 saves on 36 shots. Talbot 33 saves on 34 shots. So Talbot had a really strong game. Byfield's coming into his own, and Dubois started heating up. Things are going well for the Kings. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you've forgotten to this point. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.